The concept of inorganic beings was first published by Carlos Castaneda in 1968. I will be citing his works for the majority of this video, and I can personally verify that most people would agree with Castaneda's description when faced with the very same out-of-this-world phenomenon. Firstly, where did they come from and how long have they been here? According to shamanistic knowledge, inorganic beings were stumbled upon by ancient Toltec shamans in South America over 10,000 years ago. This is thought to have happened by accident with the use of psychotropic drugs, a notion that I can appreciate, since psychotropics have proven themselves to expand perception to indescribable states. The ancient shamans had no problem interacting with the inorganic beings, because they possess the crucial ingredient for interaction: consciousness. Some of those shamans befriended dozens of inorganic beings, and even called them allies, because some of their allies did have useful purposes. I may refer to these inorganic projections as allies throughout the video. Those ancient shamans were actually just interacting with projections of the real inorganic being. The shaman's allies' real world is a gigantic blob of caverns and pores, floating in some dark space across the cosmos. The actual bodies of the allies exist there, like a framework, as a massive series of hollow canes bound together, like the cells of our bodies. The ancient shaman called this immense bundle of inorganic beings the Labyrinth of Penumbra. So allies do have bodies as real as you and me. You have the hollow, cane-like structures that make up the labyrinth, and also a shadowy kind of upkeep and maintenance inorganic being, which roams the halls and regulates energy there. Another manifestation of the Labyrinth of Penumbra is what is called the Emissary. The Emissary is experienced as a voice that is heard mostly by people who are lucid dreaming or even astral traveling. The Emissary can be helpful by providing information, for it is incapable of telling a lie. However, its ultimate purpose is that of a salesman, trying to entice whoever can hear the Emissary to come and live in the Labyrinth of Penumbra permanently, having shelter and a nearly everlasting life in exchange for that person's energy. The life of organic beings is normally short-lived, because they are made to hurry, whereas the life of inorganic beings is infinitely longer, lasting millions or even billions of years, because their consciousness is infinitely more calm and deeper. So the ancient shaman mostly interacted with the projections of the structure-like inorganic beings. These beings can apparently astral project here to Earth, and are most easily perceived at night, but basically invisible to the eyes. They are here on Earth to form associations and search for energy. Allies do sometimes materialize invisibly in broad daylight. Their invisible presence is marked by a bodily jolt, a shiver that comes from the marrow of the bones. Allies are not capable of physically harming a person here in normal reality without the help of a shaman. They are more or less like a ghost. They can, however, startle you and cause you to trip and fall. While organic beings have features such as metabolism and reproduction, etc., allies, which are a tension-like force with awareness, have characteristics unique to them. Characteristics like emotional dependency. Allies absorb emotional energy like food, love, hatred, sadness, and raw animal fear, which is their favorite. Shamans of ancient times knew this, and often used to feed their allies by scaring people to death. The allies materialized visually with the help from their shaman, then assumed a beastly form and would scare people, feeding off of the emotional energy released from their fear. Those shaman used to seek the allies' ethereal quality, while the allies seek the greater energy field of mankind. It is possible to exchange energy with the allies, and both parties can profit. Allies can use the energy to materialize themselves and more, while people can calm their energy in the exchange and extend their lives. Energy exchange can have a drawback. Exchanges can form a dependency on both parties. Useful allies, which unfortunately are rare, make fabulous scouts, guardians, and they can make us strong and powerful, and have a few things to teach us. If we exchange energy with a useless inorganic being, of which there are many, we may be stuck with it. So it's a gamble to go for. I am still deciding if I should go for it or not. There's an ally waiting for me, but so do we all have one. According to shamanistic knowledge, inorganic beings outnumber organic beings in the universe. Therefore, there are enough of them with nothing better to do than wait around and match up with us. There are a number of ways to engage an ally. You could track down one in the forest and tackle it there to catch a random ally, or another way is to summon one to the earth by opening a portal. You are more likely to get a useful ally if you let one through a portal, because that ally can scope you out from their world first and choose you before they come through. Firstly, meeting an ally and engaging one takes personal power, or saved energy. If you encounter an ally and it seems restless or agitated, then you probably do not have enough energy to engage it, and should quietly leave. But if the ally is calm and observing you, then that is a good sign that you are ready to engage it. In order to exchange energy with the ally, you need to tackle it. Tackling an ally is no small endeavor. First, you must keep your mouth shut tightly, because the jolt of grabbing an ally is so great that one might bite off one's tongue or crack their teeth from their mouth clamping down so forcefully. Allies release what is like a strong electrical charge into you when you tackle them. After you make sure that your mouth is clamped down tight, then get a steady stance and get close enough to the ally to be able to leap at it and tackle it with all your might. Wrap your arms and legs around it and hold on for dear life. The ally will usually begin to spin very rapidly and may rise up into the air, all the while sending jolts of electrical current into your body. Don't let go, or you could fall to your death or serious injury. Once the energy exchange is complete, the wrestling match will be over. You will have a lifelong companion, and who knows what kind of relation could develop. According to folklore, there are way more differences between inorganic beings than there are between organic ones. As I mentioned earlier, there are ways to increase the chance you get a helpful ally, one which matches your energy better. One way is to open a portal. Engaging with an ally is dangerous enough. Opening a portal is even more dangerous. This technique is recommended to be done with a partner for safety. The idea is that one person is seeking an ally, and the other person is participating, yet focusing on the situation to prevent a trance from going too far. To open a portal, you must submerge a shiny object, like a mirror, into a shallow depth of water. A stream is more ideal for this. Empty all thoughts and gaze into the mirror. Let the fluidity of the water exert pressure on your awareness and the awareness of your partner. Face each other, holding the mirror from underneath while squatting, sitting, or kneeling. Remember that the portal can go both ways, and you don't want to get sucked in by the magnetic power of their world. You would not likely find your way back. If you feel you are being sucked in by the portal, or are being enveloped by a force, then roll your eyes clockwise over and over to break the spell. This is where your partner comes in. They have to be on the lookout for you and remind you to roll your eyes if they feel it's going too far. Do not stare at your eyes in the mirror or at your partner's eyes. Let your gaze wander without focusing. After you relax and clear your minds, you may notice a dark shape appear. If it likes what it sees, it may try to come through the portal. Be calm. Do not show fear or surprise. The secret is not to fear them. A person has to send out an intent of power and abandon. Encode to them in a silent message of intent. I don't fear you. Come see me. If you do, I will welcome you. That should be your message and intent. Allies are slow, and it may take a few tries at this before you see one. If you want the ally to come through the portal, then drop the mirror when you feel a tug, and it will push its projection through the portal. Then get ready to tackle it and exchange energy. However, if you feel it's not the right time and you want to back out, then tip the mirror sideways, pull it up out of the water, and leave. Another way to find a suitable and useful ally is through lucid dreaming. Once a person becomes proficient at lucid dreaming, allies can sense that distinctive energy charge, and they will come to you like fish to bait. It may take some time for them to notice you, because their awareness is very slow. Be patient, and they will show up. Inorganic beings called scouts are constantly being sent from the labyrinth of penumbra into the dreamscape to scout for prospective energetic connections. Scouts appear in a lucid dream as a strange object or being, something that doesn't belong there and strikes you as strange or weird. A scout will usually change form or do something wild in a dream once you focus on it. If you recognize it as a scout and shout at it, your intent to follow it, it will take your dreaming attention to visit the labyrinth for yourself. Inorganic beings with their superb consciousness can exert a tremendous pull on a dreamer and easily transport them into worlds beyond description, so take caution. If you do end up finding an ally in dreaming, you will also find it in reality. Whether you want to tackle it and exchange energy is up to you. I would now like to talk about a very special kind of inorganic being called the Flyer. The ancient shaman called it the Flyer because it can be seen more easily than other inorganic beings, and the Flyers hop around, sort of like flying. It is not known by me whether or not they are part of the labyrinth of penumbra, or if they are in a category all to themselves. The Flyer showed up on Earth eons ago and changed the course of mankind forever. They came to Earth from the depths of the cosmos because we are food for them, and they squeeze us mercilessly because we are their sustenance. Just as we raise chickens in chicken coops, the Flyers raise us in a human coop, so their food is always available to them. Flyers are a predator that has taken over the rule of the lives of mankind. Human beings are its prisoners. The predator is our lord and master. It has rendered us docile, helpless, through a genius form of mind control. In order to keep us obedient and meek and weak, the predators gave us their mind, which becomes our mind. Through this mind subversion, the predators inject into the lives of human beings whatever is convenient for them. This ensures them a degree of security, that they can keep us constantly distracted with the troubles of our daily lives. The flyers can be perceived most easily during the twilight hours. If you gaze without focusing and pay close attention to the area near the corner of your eyes, you may catch a glimpse of them. They look like dark blobs or black fish that move around by leaping through the air, hopping and flopping. To see one up close is an ominous experience. Human babies are born covered from top to bottom with a glowing coat, something like a plastic cover that is adjusted tightly over their cocoon of energy. Man is the only species that has this glowing coat of awareness on the outside of their luminous cocoon, making us easy prey for the flyers. That glowing coat of awareness is what the predators consume, and that by the time a human reaches adulthood, all that is left of that glowing coat of awareness is a narrow fringe that goes from the ground to the top of the toes. That fringe permits mankind to continue living, but only barely. This narrow fringe of awareness, basically the only energy we have, is the epicenter of self-reflection, where mankind is irremediably caught. By playing on our self-reflection, which is the only point of awareness left to us, the predators create flares of awareness that they proceed to consume in a ruthless, predatory fashion. They give us inane problems that force those flares of awareness to rise, and in this manner they keep us alive, in order for them to be fed with the energetic flare of our daily pseudo-concerns. I think you get the picture. The thought of being constantly fed upon, and that our own thoughts are put there by an alien force, is a very jagged pill to swallow. But there is a way to overcome this predator, which has stolen our magical heritage, and that's discipline. Discipline makes our glowing coat of awareness unpalatable to the predator. By discipline, I mean specifically the discipline of inner silence. The monkey mind constantly chattering in our head is not our own. If we practice inner silence and make the monkey shut up, we become inedible to the predator, and our glowing coat of awareness eventually grows back to its rightful size. Tremendous maneuvers of perception then become a matter of course. We can drive the predator away simply by shutting off the monkey mind. Practice internal silence, my friends. Meditate. Reclaim our legendary and mythological power. It's time for a revolution of inner silence.